Okay, now let's take a look at time zones, and to understand what we're doing here, we need to take a look at what we're receiving from the server for our messages. And if we go to the network tab, and let's just refresh this page, and what we're looking for here is we'll just filter this by WebSockets, and we're looking for the message in this case. And what we should see inside here is what we're receiving. Now if we scroll across here and take a look at the dates that we get back from the server, we've got the date red, and this doesn't specify anything about the time zone offset or even whether or not this is a UTC time or not. So our different browsers don't know what to do with this. One of them thinks it's UTC time or assumes it is. The other one thinks it's local time. And what we need to do is standardize this so that we can send back the same response that's UTC time. So no matter where the user is in the world, then the client's going to display this in local time, but it's always going to read it from UTC time. And the way that we do that, or specify UTC time, is by adding a Z onto the end of this timestamp, and then the browser knows that it's a UTC time, and then it can work out what it should display based on its own local time. So what we're doing at the moment, if we go back and take a look, what we have, we've done this one for UTC now, great. But now we've got a mismatch between our dates. If we go to our message.cs, then we're setting the message sent as date time now. We're going to update that to UTC now. And what we also need to do is update our message repository, because we're also setting the date time as red inside when we get the message thread as well. So when we get the message thread, we're doing it here as well, and we're going to swap this for UTC now. Now this doesn't change anything. Our server is still going to send back the dates in the same formats they were before. The only thing is that they're going to be using UTC time. But we still need our client to know about this. We still need our dates to have the Z on the end of the dates so that our client can work out the correct local time. So what we need to do this is we're going to use Automapper to help us out here. So we're going to go to our Automapper profiles, and what we'll do, we're going to create a mapping, and we're going to say create map, and we're going to go from date time to date time. And we'll need to bring in system to make use of date time. And then what we're going to do is use a function in Automapper called convert using. And what we'll do is we'll say D for date, and we're going to specify date time, and we're going to specify the kind of date that it is. And this gives us the opportunity to tell our date time if it's UTC or if it's local time, but we're going to specify the kind of date that it is. And then in brackets here, what we can do is say D, comma, date time kind, and we're going to specify it's UTC. And what this means is that when we return our dates to the client, we're going to have that Z on the end of it. So let's go take a look. And if I just refresh this page once again, and let's open up the network tab, in fact, whilst we're doing this. And we go to the messages and we take a look at the received message thread, then what we should find now is that our dates have Z appended onto them. So this represents a UTC time, and it's going to be a few hours ahead, a few hours behind, depending on where you are in the world. But that doesn't matter because it's up to our client to work it out based on the local time. As long as it's got that Z, then that's the standard that we're looking for. So what this means is that my older messages that weren't this one, so I'm going to pick on another user. I'm going to pick on, let's see, Bob. Let's send a message to Bob. And I'm going to say, hello, Bob, from Lisa. And that's unread. That's fine. And let's go across to the other browser. And I'm going to log out of Todd, and I'll log in as Bob. And let's go to the messages. And I can see this is now 15 seconds ago. And if I say, hello, Lisa, then we can see that this is read 1 second ago. And if I go across to this browser, then all of our timestamps are now good. And if I refresh the page, we should find that this is consistent, and we don't have any time zone problems with our messages anymore. So that's good. Now we've dealt with that particular problem. What we'll take a look at next is supposing Lisa, or Bob in this case, is on another part of our browser, and Lisa sends Bob a message and says, "Hello, Bob." Then what we would like to do is Bob to be notified that he's received a new message. And that's what we're going to take a look at next.